take us to, you go back home and what's going on in Detroit and what's going on with your brother and how do you guys kind of get in the mix of the street smoke?
Well, my brother was, when I was in school, my brother he was doing this little thing, but before I went to school, we had tried some things, we had tried some things that didn't work.
Like meaning what?
We tried to get out there and sell our own little packs.
And what went wrong?
My father was, he was teaching us how to hook it up, but he was also stealing the dope from us. So we was out there selling mix instead of jive.
It was all mixed and no jive.
Yeah, so we figured it out, and we went to him and we were like, man, why you do that? He was like, lesson number 1, don't trust nobody. And so that didn't go too well. When I came home, my brother was already, doing his thing. He was making his way, he was just selling, gambling, getting broke, selling, gambling, getting broke, until he just stopped gambling for a while and just tend to his business, and that's how he came up.
So when you come back, I remember you told me incident about him. Well, there was a stick-up guy, he kind of got into some more serious, he was doing things that made you uncomfortable.
No, I wasn't.
Or it's more extreme.
I wasn't uncomfortable with what he was doing. I was at school, and he had got into it with my best friend, a guy that would send me money when he didn't have money. A guy that I grew up with, and in the projects, and he ended up doing something that was.
He died.
Yeah, he died. Just put it like that.
And they said he supposedly he was robbed.
He was robbing my brother's customers. My customers would come, he'd be standing there and he would stick them up.
So your brother was getting pretty serious.
Yeah, he had to. Unless he was going to lose his job.
And at this point, like you said, there's a lot of people selling drugs in the project.
Yeah.
So it's pretty. Yeah, it's lucrative, but pretty intense.
Yeah, it's 10 different bags down there.
And a stick-up man, because where there's money, they can rob the customers, they can rob the dealers, they can whatever.
Yeah, it was like I said, it was 10 different bags down there. It was crew here.
Was there violence between the groups? Not as much as you would think with some.
No, it wasn't that much violence.
But some.
It was some. It wasn't that much.
Why? Because there was so much money coming through, or just?
It was. At one point, we were making at least $60,000-$70,000 a day.
And that was your crew. That wasn't the whole project.
Right. It was just us.
So walk us up through going from the heroin into the cocaine into meeting Meech.
Ah, man. I met Meech. Well, you said walk you through.
Okay, so it's 80. When do you get kicked out of college?
I didn't get kicked out. I quit.
Oh, you quit. Okay. When did you quit college?
February of 1985.
So you come back in 85 and you got to make a new plan in life. You're what, 20?
Yeah.
Your brother's selling heroin?
Yeah.
When does it transfer from heroin to coke, or when do you add to the cocaine, and when does it feel like it starts to get big?
Well, when I left college and came home in February of 85, I got off into it. I made some money.
It was just heroin at this point.
It was
a little bit of cocaine.
A little bit of cocaine, but basically it was heroin.
And now, wait, you guys pushing packs.
We pushing packs.
But you're selling a lot.
A lot. So I end up going back to school. I was like, I left it alone. I made me some money. I had me a car, and I ended up going back to school. And I ended up getting broke. Ended up getting down there, and I'm wilding out, and I'm partying, and next thing I know, and I'm broke. So now it's time for me to come back. So when I came back from school, we had a guy who was on Alabama State's teams. He went to Mackenzie. He played ball at Mackenzie High School, and he had a scholarship down at Alabama State. And when I left, he begged me to come back. He begged to come back with me. And I was telling him, no, you stay. He gonna play you, man. He gonna man ain't gonna play me. He ain't gonna play me. Which he was right. But I was telling him just to stay down there and try it. He was a couple years younger than me. He went down and he jumped in the car with me, and we came on back to Detroit. And he was off the west side. And that's who I formed my crew with. When I came home, that's the crew. He went on the west side and got some guys, and we came down, and knowing my brother had his crew, I had my crew. And that's where it began. Then you tell me.
At what point did it kick into cocaine as being the dominant thing?
I'm gonna say around 86 for me, 87. Around 86, 87.
And is that because the streets demand changed, or your brother met the right person, or a little bit of all of it?
I think it was more the streets, because at that time, and it was, if my brother didn't have it at this time, Maserati Rick had it.
And was that someone you knew from growing up, or you met him?
Maserati Rick, no, I met him. When I came home from college, that's when I met him.
So wasn't just Demetrius's underling. He was moving.
A lot of people say he was Demetrius' underling, but I don't actually believe that. I don't find that to be true.
What was Maserati Rick's personality like?
Oh man, he was arrogant as hell, as far as I could see. He was a cool dude. He was a very, very cool dude, but he was very arrogant with his. He was, but.
And you met him in like 86?
I met him around 86.
So he was already somebody.
Yeah, he was the man.
Or he the man?
Yeah. As far as I can see, he was the man. From what my brother told me, my brother didn't have it. That's where he would send me. Man, go Maserati, call Maserati.
So your brother was already having keys, though?
No. My brother was more onto the heroin than the keys at the time.
Was Miles doing both?
Miles, I don't know whether he's doing both or not. I assume he was, but as far as...
You was getting the cocaine.
The company was getting the cocaine from me. Yeah.
So what about, okay, so I don't know, was this stuff adjudicated in court or whatever you're comfortable talking about, but at some point your brother becomes more, so was it you and him together, or more so he gets some major connection? Like a Columbia, or like how did he jump up, or you guys together jump up to being and we can leave some for the boy, whatever, but like give us at least like an idea of you were making money on the projects, but at some point you guys become some of the bigger people in the city of Detroit.
Well, I'm gonna give you this. Maserati Rick sold the Connect to my brother.
Oh wow, a Colombian. What type of fee does that take?
How much?
Yeah.
He sold it to him for about 50.
Oh, okay, but that doesn't mean Maserati still used them. It was just like, no. I'll introduce. Oh, well, what did Maserati do? He had another Connect?
No. Maserati had, at this point, I believe they didn't want to mess with Maserati no more.
Oh, the plug.
The plug.
Why?
I don't know. The money, more than likely, was a money situation. It was a money situation where they didn't want to mess with Maserati no more. And Maserati Rick knew that my brother was getting it.
And you guys just were getting all this money from street sales.
Right.
And did you have some great plug, or you just really knew how to roll
I mean, once you
in the game?
each of them for prior to the game,
The heroin.
and it was
Just knew what to do.
yeah, you bag it up.
I mean, were you getting it from different people, or you had some great source, or?
No, we was getting it from different people.
Okay. So it wasn't that you had something special. You guys really knew how to sell a lot. You knew how to have a crew and make a lot of money.
Well, the projects, the projects.
Oh, so if people see you can hold it, people gonna be giving you.
Yeah, they gonna come to you.
Okay.
They gonna come
With
to
the
you.
weight.
The streets are talking. The streets is watching. They hearing who doing what. Like right now, everybody know what everybody is doing.
So people gonna come to you, be like, "Hey, man, I know you.
Look, check this out.
Take this
See
back.
what this. See what this can do. See what you can do with that.
And give me the money when you get it." Yeah.
Oh, it could be a tester.
Yeah. Okay.
Take this, man, and see what they say. Oh, I got it, man. And they coming at you from everywhere. Oh. Anybody who got a bag.
So you ain't
that ain't on that ain't in the what they call the mud.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't down in the mud.
Somebody's got to stand outside.
Somebody got to be in the mud. And it's a lot of people. That got the bag. They ain't in the mud.
They don't want to be.
I want to be in the mud. So here you go, Lawrence. Here you go, KK. Go see what you can do with this. I take it, put a 3 on it, boom, boom, put whatever I need to put on it, take it, give it to such and such, and they blow it, and oh man, that's it. And now I'm going back over here to give me I'm gonna need such and such of that, and that's how it starts, Then you got another guy over here, he got something, and he trying to get it off, and who else better to get it off but Lawrence?
And so
Lawrence is moving like this.
So you said at that point you guys are doing like up to 60, 70,000 in heroin. This is in the cocaine.
Just in the projects.
And you weren't the only people down there.
No.
Were you like half of the business, or hard to say?
We was at the top at that time, but you had other people down there making 10, making 5.
A few other crews.
Yeah.
So it was probably 200 a day going.
Every day. When you say them, about 200,000-300,000 a day going on down there.
Between everybody?
Oh yeah, no doubt. Easy.
So then when the coke, so what year did Maserati sell him his Connect?
Oh, we had just
sold him his Connect.
Yeah, we had just
50 ain't a bad price.
We had the 80s money though, that's a lot of money. We had moved from the east side to the west side.
To where?
Schaefer and the lodge.
Meaning your operation?
Yeah.
You mean you were selling, but were you still pushing packs on the products?
No. We had an after hours joint. Remember I told you?
Yeah.
After hours joint on Shane. And that's where we would be gambling and everything. But me and my brother went to Las Vegas. We had flew to Las Vegas. And he had lost at least about 90,000 gambling. So on the way back from Vegas, we sitting on the plane. He said, "Kay, when we get back, we're gonna move to the west side."
Like, oh, you mean your personal residence?
Yeah, not personal residence.
Oh, the spot.
The spot. The after hour joint.
Not the dope, but the
we not going back down on the east side. We're gonna find a building on the west side, and we're going to open up shop there.
But you're still pushing the pack.
Still pushing in the project.
Yeah.
We're still doing that.
Okay.
So we get to the west side, and this had to be around, I want to say 87, 88. Around 87, 88, we get to the west side, and his plan was that we're going to do it. They had beat him out of so much money that his plan was we're going to do it just like the casino. So we came back, He had a guy go find a spot. He had a guy come in. The layout on the casino table, he laid it out over there. All the odds, all everything. So he ran it just like the casino. We called it Little Las Vegas. You come, 4 o'clock, free food.
Let me ask you a question. If you're making that much money selling apparel, which has a big markup, of course you got crew members. I mean, there's expensive, but first of all, you're making a lot of money. There's a lot to oversee, I guess. Why do you need a whole nother business? Or does it just you liked it? Or like it all went hand in glove? Or
we was gambling.
So you just, the gambling was always like you were gamble so much you might as well have a after hours.
We was gambling before we even.
So you never stopped gambling?
No.
It's like a part of it. That's like basketball.
That was like sport. That was in us.
That was your personal enjoyment.
Yes, absolutely.
So if you're going to do all the gambling, might as well have your own joint.
Have your own joint.
Yeah, okay.
And he had the chips made up. So when you came in, you had to buy chips.
And it had your guys?
He had them made up.
What did it say on?
I don't.
No, but it was
$100 chips. You had $50 chips. You had $20 chips.
I mean, they had his logo or something?
No, it didn't have his logo. I'm not gonna go that far, but he had a set up just like the casino. All drinks was free.
Was it all across the was covered, or would there be regular business people, or pretty much all street?
Pretty much all street.
Because it was.
He had a few guys that worked at the plant, that
somebody
was tiptoeing in the streets, but they wasn't in the streets, and
But okay, yeah.
They came through. But the latest, But it was majority of it was street guys. Yeah.
It was it, but that was probably a profitable endeavor too.
Was it? Oh man.
Was it better than the drugs, or they went hand in glove?
They went hand in glove, but it was a trip that I didn't want to do it because now everybody is gambling. We the house.
Yeah.
It's just like Vegas.
Yeah.
And I didn't gamble in Vegas at that time. I didn't like it, so I didn't gamble. But he wanted me to put up we're going to put up $25,000 a piece. And I'm like, man, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. He said, all right, I'll do it myself. The grand opening, he made about 60, 70,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I got about 10 because we were still cutting 10%. It was crazy how they went for that.
Yeah, that's a lot. Goddamn.
I didn't understand.
You can't never get ahead.
Yeah, I didn't understand, but.
That means every 10 hands, they're taking the equivalent of a handout.
Yeah, he and the grand opening, we made about he made about $60,000-$70,000 the grand open. And just imagine, we stayed open for 2 years.
So does that mean 700,000 in pops went down if you cut out 70?
Yeah.
Something like that. Anyhow.
Yeah. Like I said, that when we got over to that west side, man, it was different, man.
We mean different set of people, or just
fires,
just more different, probably less. Probably the projects were the same kind of people over and over.
The east side,
smaller circle of people.
The east side was niggas had money, and they came out. But when you got to that west side, man, it was like, where's these people getting all this money from?
And it was a loud
mindset. When you see a man coming through the door with 200,000 or 300,000 cashing you out.
Oh, that's for buying the drug. So okay, now let's go back into the cocaine business. So he, at the same time you're opening this, he's bought this Connect, a Colombian.
Mm-hmm.
Did that Colombian ever get in trouble to your knowledge, or you don't think so?
Yeah, I think he didn't. He kept all that from me.
So it was more so your brother's Connect.
Yeah, it was his.
At what level? How much were you helping your brother, and what scale do you think he got to? Like, what kind of deals did you see?
He got, man, he would get 100, 200, they would go in 2 days, cash. Man.
So he was doing that a couple times a month?
I'm talking about, when I say this, he knew everybody from the east side to the west side to the whole city. Him and Demetrius, I would have to say,
they were neck and neck.
They was best friends.
Oh. Not best friends, but best friends.
It was about a 2-year period.
2-year period.
About the streets in our world.
Yep.
It was dog K.K. Lawrence got away.
Yeah.
Really?
Got to them. That's a fact.
And that's when Demetrius was around, or right after him?
Same time.
But they didn't have the same look. Or they sort of did. Okay.
Yeah.
Something like that. Okay.
It was crazy.
Something like that. Okay. So you say he get a 200 and they be gone in 3 days. So what? Guys come and get 30, 40, 20, and this is not consignment. Pretty much they buying them.
He dealt on consignment.
But some people would buy.
You had a few, not a few, but you had a lot of people that had money that would come in and just cash it out.
Or was pretty much everyone from Detroit, or was a lot out of town?
Well, he had some people from out of town.
Like where? Like, oh, okay.
Saginaw.